This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coaches Corner, and our guest this week is Ladi Iya in her 9th season as head women's volleyball coach at the University of Rochester. Ladi, you played Division I volleyball at Evansville. Was that when the spark of interest in coaching began for you?
Oh, no. Well, the interest in coaching actually began after I finished playing volleyball. I played at University of Evansville for 4 years. I was a middle blocker. After that, I had the opportunity to actually play in a very short-lived professional league called the USPV. And I played with a team up in Grand Rapids, Michigan called the Grand Rapids Force. When that ended, I was also very fortunate that I was selected to play with the Nigerian national team. And so I went and I trained with them for about 6 months, and then we played in the 2004 Olympic qualifier, actually, for the African countries. So that was really great. And then after that came to an end, I realized that I had a love of volleyball that I didn't want to stop. And quite interestingly enough, I always wanted to be a teacher. And so I realized that I could kind of blend my love of teaching and my love of volleyball into a career in coaching. So.
You mentioned Olympic qualifier, and this was an Olympic year. Do you find that when it is an Olympic year that the interest in your sport, women's volleyball, is increased, and maybe you get a chance to talk to more kids about coming to the University of Rochester?
Absolutely. You know, I think volleyball fans are always watching, but the great thing about Olympic years is that it exposes people who aren't necessarily used to volleyball to be able to see the sport and see how fun and how fast-paced it is. And I think the biggest part from a recruiting aspect is that there are lots of young women who maybe never played volleyball, played other sports, and they see this on television and see these women playing and go, oh, wow, this is a sport I never thought about. Maybe I should try it. And so that's the cool part about seeing it on TV.
I look at your roster and I see kids from all around the country. I see internationally. You've brought kids in as well. I mean, for you, that's a wide group to try and get to come to the U of R, and I imagine that's pretty tricky for you.
It's definitely challenging. Recruiting is always challenging, but on the other hand, it's very easy because Rochester is such a fantastic school. We're internationally known. We have a huge international student population. We're nationally known, and it's very easy to, recruit people from California, and, Texas and Arizona, and local kids as well, just because everybody knows how fantastic of an educational institution Rochester is. So that part's definitely easy.
There's a real coaching fraternity here at the U of R, isn't there? I mean, the other coaches, the other sports, you guys get along, not only just get along very well, but I know you all help each other too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all here for the same reason. We all have a very, very focused goal of, we want our teams to win and perform well, but we also want them to get better every time we play. We always try to be very mindful that our role is to be educators for our student athletes. And so I think that all the coaches here take that very seriously, and knowing that, we try to help each other out, whether it's a recruiting tip here, or here, this is, what we've used with our team that works, or here's a resource that, has helped our team be good. And so I think that it helps it to be a very, we're almost like a team of our own, if you would say.
There's no doubt about that. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week.
No.
And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coaches Corner.